Most people will never get rich. Not because they're lazy, not because they're stupid, and not because the system is rigged, although some days it might feel that way. No, the real reason is much simpler. They don't think the way rich people think. They chase excitement. They chase hacks. They chase what looks like wealth without ever understanding what builds it. Warren Buffett? He doesn't chase anything. He sits, he waits, he reads, he thinks. While the world is refreshing charts and flipping coins, he's doing the opposite.
The best thing I do every day is sit quietly and think. I do that more than most people.
That's not exactly the motivational advice most people are looking for. And that's precisely why it works. Because while most people are addicted to action, Buffett is addicted to clarity, to understanding before movement, to certainty over speed. He doesn't ask, how can I double my money this week? He asks, how can I never lose it over the next 30 years? You see, the poor and middle class think money is made by effort. The rich think money is made by leverage, clarity, and consistency. The average person wakes up and thinks, I need to hustle harder. The wealthy wake up and think, I need to make one smart decision, then protect it.
It's not necessary to do extraordinary things to get extraordinary results.
That line right there, that's why Buffett is different. He doesn't believe in genius. He believes in avoiding stupidity. He doesn't believe in secrets. He believes in common sense most people ignore. And yet, his wealth is anything but average. Most people imagine the rich as flashy, hyper-confident, always working, always winning. Buffett? He wears the same cheap suit, drinks Coca-Cola, eats McDonald's for breakfast, lives in the same modest house he bought in 1958, and reads more than 5 hours a day.
I just sit in my office and read all day.
Sounds boring, right? That's the point. The world is chasing dopamine. Buffett is chasing margin of safety. While most people are trying to make fast money, he's thinking about how not to lose slow money. He once said that temperament is more important than intelligence, and he meant it, because the market rewards emotional control more than brilliance. It rewards long-term thinking over fast wins. It rewards those who can sit still while others panic.
You need a stable personality, not a high IQ.
So why do most people never build wealth? Because they think like gamblers, not investors. They think like sprinters, not marathoners. They think like employees, not owners. They want freedom, but chase everything that chains them to short-term gratification. And Buffett? He just keeps sitting, thinking, choosing simplicity over speed, and making billions from ideas most people scroll past.
The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything.
If you want to think like Warren Buffett, you start by slowing down, by getting quiet, by refusing to chase every shiny thing. Because the rich don't think in flashes. They think in decades. If you want to go broke, fast, chasing riches quickly is the surest way to do it. Every day, someone falls for a shiny shortcut. Crypto, penny stocks, meme trades, drop shipping dreams. They want millions by Friday. But they forget what Buffett has preached for decades. The faster you try to get rich, the faster you lose the money you had.
Wealth is built over time. You can't produce a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant.
Warren Buffett is the 3rd or 4th richest man on earth, depending on the year. But here's what almost no one realizes. 99% of Buffett's wealth was earned after his 50th birthday, and over 96% came after he turned 60. He wasn't racing to win. He was waiting to compound.
My life has been a product of compound interest and patience.
People scroll past that word, compound, like it's just a finance buzzword. But it is Buffett's religion, and it is time, not tactics, that makes it powerful. Let's put it into perspective. At age 30, Buffett was worth just $1 million. At 50, around $300 million. At 60, about $3.8 billion. And today, over $120 billion. Not because of luck, not because of crypto, because he was willing to wait.
The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient.
While the world was chasing trends, Buffett was buying boring companies with strong cash flow. He wasn't looking for moonshots. He was looking for moats. He was looking for durability, businesses that would still be alive 30 years from now. Buffett doesn't believe in once-in-a-lifetime investments. He believes in everyday discipline. He doesn't hunt unicorns. He farms cows. He nukes them every single day. And the irony? He wins bigger than everyone chasing faster.
The chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken.
That works both ways. Most people form bad habits when they're young. Spending too much, chasing high returns, copying hype. They don't feel the weight of those decisions until they're buried under debt and regret at 40. Buffett? He formed good habits early, living below his means, investing in what he understood, and saying no more often than yes. It's not that he never made mistakes, he has, but he avoided big ones by refusing to be in a hurry.
If you're not willing to own a stock for 10 years, don't even think about owning it for 10 minutes.
Speed makes you fragile. Slowness, when paired with intention, makes you powerful. It makes you durable. It makes you inevitable. People think they need more money, but what they really need is more time and fewer decisions made in a rush. The rich don't just use money wisely, they use time like a weapon. Warren Buffett didn't need lottery tickets. He had compound interest, patience, and discipline, and he let them do what most people won't, take the slow road to extreme wealth.
Our favorite holding period is forever.
Think about that. Forever. In a world that can't even commit to a stock for a week, that's how Warren Buffett thinks. That's why he's rich. And that's why he'll stay rich. Long after the hype chasers burn out, the world celebrates brilliance, the highest IQ, the boldest move, the genius founder, the unicorn startup. But Warren Buffett? He doesn't idolize brilliance. He avoids stupidity.
You only have to do a very few things right in your life so long as you don't do too many things wrong.
Let that sink in. Most people obsess over what they should do. Buffett obsesses over what he should never do. That single mental shift, it's made him billions. Because avoiding disaster is more important than chasing brilliance. Think about how most people lose wealth. They overleverage, they speculate, they chase what they don't understand.
The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything.
It's not that Buffett's smarter than everyone else. It's that he's more cautious, more curious, and far more boring. And boring is how you win. He doesn't fall in love with his ideas. He tries to kill them before they kill his money. When asked how to succeed, Buffett once said, "Don't lose money." When they asked him for the second rule, he replied,
Never forget rule number 1.
"It sounds simple, but it's everything. Because the math of recovery is brutal. Lose 50% of your capital, and you need 100% gain just to get back to zero. Wealth, once destroyed, takes years to rebuild, if it ever comes back. That's why Buffett focuses so much on the downside. He's less interested in the upside of a deal and more obsessed with what could go wrong. He isn't in love with risk. He's in love with certainty.
Risk comes from not knowing what you are doing.
He stays in his lane. He avoids leverage. He only bets big when the odds are overwhelmingly in his favor. That's not brilliance. That's restraint. And restraint makes you rich. Buffett's biggest wins didn't come from magical predictions. They came from avoiding destruction. While others bought tech they didn't understand, he sat on cash. While others flipped houses, he bought undervalued stocks. While others were bragging, he was compounding. And while others were posting their gains, he was planting trees, knowing the
It's better to be approximately right than precisely wrong.
So many people go broke trying to be impressive. Buffett got rich trying to be invisible, trying to be right quietly, not loudly wrong. He's played the same simple game for 70 years. Buy quality, avoid hype, protect capital. Repeat. If you want to think like Warren Buffett, stop chasing brilliance. Start building a system that's hard to break. In a world obsessed with shiny things, he just avoids the sharp ones. That's not flashy, but it's effective. And it's the reason why, while the world blows up, Buffett just keeps compounding. If you want to lose money fast, try being an expert at everything. Buy crypto because your barber did. Start 6 businesses in 6 months. Invest in companies you don't understand because someone on Twitter sounds confident. That's how most people operate. Outside the depth, drowning in decisions they're not qualified to make. Warren Buffett, he stays in the shallow end on purpose.
The size of your circle of competence is not very important. Knowing its boundaries is critical.
That's the power of Buffett's circle of competence. A simple concept: only invest in what you understand. Not what's trendy, not what's hyped, not what everyone else is chasing. Buffett admits he doesn't get everything, and that's his advantage.
There are no cold strikes in investing. You don't have to swing at every pitch.
Most people think being rich means knowing more. Buffett became rich by being brutally honest about what he didn't know. He passed on flashy tech stocks for decades, not because he thought they were bad, but because he didn't understand them. That takes humility, and humility makes money. Because when you stay inside your circle, you can go deep instead of wide.
It's not important to be smart, it's important to know where you're dumb.
That line says everything, and it's why so many people stay stuck. They try to look smart instead of being wise. They chase complexity instead of mastering simplicity. Your circle of competence doesn't have to be big, but it has to be real. If you're great at understanding consumer behavior, invest there. If you understand how restaurants work, invest in what you know. Buffett made billions in insurance, banking, railroads, and chewing gum. Not sexy, not disruptive, but understood. And because he understood, he could bet big without losing sleep.
You don't need to be an expert on everything. You only need to be very good at a few things.
The tragedy is that people often abandon their competence for someone else's confidence. They think the answer lies in the unknown. But Buffett shows us the answer lies in knowing yourself. If you want to think like Warren Buffett, don't try to impress the world with your range. Master your lane, own it, understand it, and let everyone else drown trying to play every position.
If you're not sure you understand it, don't do it.
That's not fear, that's discipline. And discipline is what builds wealth, especially when the rest of the world is busy pretending to know it all. Most people ignore compounding until it's too late. They think of it as a math concept, a classroom topic, a buzzword tossed around in finance books. But Warren Buffett, he treats compounding like a religion.
My wealth has come from a combination of living in America, some lucky genes, and compound interest.
He's not joking. Compound interest didn't just grow his wealth, it built his empire, slowly, quietly, and relentlessly. While others were chasing unicorns, Buffett was stacking nickels, and then letting those nickels birth dollars. And those dollars create legacies. Let's look at the numbers. Buffett made his first investment at age 11. By the time he was 30, he was worth about $1 million. At 50, $300 million. At 60, nearly $4 billion. And today, over $120 billion.
The most powerful force in the universe is compound interest.
Here's the secret. Most people interrupt compounding. They pull out early. They switch strategies. They panic at the first downturn. They spend what they should reinvest. So compounding never gets to stretch its legs. It never hits its exponential stride. Buffett knew this. He treated time like capital. He knew that the longer you wait, the harder your money works for you. But it's not just about money. Compounding applies to knowledge, reputation, relationships, discipline, habits. Each day of consistency builds on the last. Each smart decision sharpens the next. Each avoided distraction increases your velocity.
Chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken.
He wasn't just compounding cash. He was compounding clarity, focus, wisdom, control. The rich don't think in terms of wins. They think in terms of momentum. Buffett's strategy is boring. Buy a great company, hold it, and wait. No hype, no headlines, just time, patience, and compound returns. That's why he says,
Our favorite holding period is forever.
you'll never see that on a motivational Instagram reel, but that's how Buffett wins. He doesn't chase big. He protects small and lets time make it massive. So why don't more people follow this? Because compounding is quiet and society is loud. Compounding is slow and we crave speed. But wealth isn't loud. It's not shiny. It's not exciting. It's a snowball, starting small, gaining mass and momentum, rolling quietly downhill until one day you look up and you've built a fortune.
The key to investing is not how much, it's how long you're willing to wait.
So, if you want to think like Warren Buffett, don't ask how to get rich fast. Ask how to let your habits live long enough to make you rich slowly. That's the real secret, and it's been hiding in plain sight all along. In a world obsessed with charisma, Warren Buffett bets on character. He doesn't care if you can command a room. He doesn't care if you wear the nicest suit or pitch like a TED speaker. He looks past the spotlight to see the shadow behind it. Because the people who endure aren't the flashiest. They're the most principled.
Look for three things in a person: intelligence, energy, and integrity. If they don't have the last one, don't even bother with the first two.
Let that hit. Buffett has met kings and conmen. He's sat across from billionaires, visionaries, and frauds. And what he's learned is this: it's not talent that holds things together. It's trust. Charisma might win attention, but character wins partnerships, loyalty, and longevity. When Buffett invests in a company, he looks at the business, but he studies the people more. Do they tell the truth when no one's watching? Do they admit mistakes? Do they protect the shareholders? Or
It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you'll do things differently.
The rich think long-term, not just with money, but with their word. Because once you break trust, everything else breaks with it. This isn't just Buffett's investing strategy, it's his life strategy. He drives the same car. He lives in the same house. He eats at the same diner. Why? Because he's not playing to impress, he's playing to last. The world sees simplicity, but it's really clarity. Clarity about who he is and who he refuses to become.
You cannot make a good deal with a bad person.
Success is built on trust. Trust in yourself, trust from others, trust that compounds over decades. And character, unlike charisma, doesn't fade with time. It amplifies. Buffett didn't build his fortune on hype. He built it on decisions that didn't compromise who he was. Think of all the people who made headlines.
It's better to hang out with people better than you. Pick associates whose behavior is better than yours, and you'll drift in that direction.
The people around you shape your future, and the person you choose to be shapes everything else. So if you want to think like Warren Buffett, forget trying to be impressive. Be consistent. Be ethical. Be boring, if that's what it takes to be trusted. Because long after the charm fades and the headlines die, what's left is your character. And if that's solid, you win. Just like Buffett.